customer base. And it may not be every single business in here that's exactly 60%. $400. Think of your average repair, your average service job. $400 benchmark is what the government uses to see where we are within the economy. But it's almost 2/3 of my customer base may not be able to cover that. That's something that I think financing really comes into play. A couple additional stats. 57% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. An additional 12% have under $5,000. So 69% of Americans have less than $5,000 in savings. Let me put myself in those shoes as a consumer. I'm in a pretty good job. I'm a single income family with 4 kids. Anybody else have more than a couple kids in the 4 range? Anybody crazy enough? I have band, I have travel sports, I have braces on kids, I have glasses, I have books. Lots of things that go in and out of my income on every given month. What happens when my system goes out? I don't have that money saved aside. And I'll tell you, if I did have that money saved aside, that's vacation money. If anybody knows in here, you don't touch vacation money. Vacation money is vacation money. That's not for emergencies. That emergency is my wife wants to be on the beach somewhere very soon over spring break. So, 2015, my system goes out. I'm in a meeting, and my wife sends me a text with our thermostat. It has 86 degrees with big bold letters. What are you going to do about this? We've all been there, right? So, I go to the dealer. I was going to use a dealer locally for me in Indianapolis. I go to their website, I get approved for financing, I let him come to the house. Scheduled for the next day. He sits down with me, goes out to the air conditioner, comes back in and says, hey, your compressor's bad. It's going to be $2,500 to fix it. I said, well, what else is that? Well, it's a 12-year-old system. You know, I can do the air conditioner for whatever his number was. And I kind of sat there and I said, is my furnace 12 years old too? He says, well, yeah. What about that? I said, no offense, but I don't want to see you again. Can you just do the whole thing today? Oh, well, yeah. That's the whole point, guys. Offer it. I don't want to see you guys again. Your customers don't want to see you again. Maybe twice a year. I'll maybe let you in October to check out my furnace, in the spring check out my air conditioner. Offer it. I financed it. I had it all done. I had it all ready. All he had to do was present when he wanted to present it. But I had to get it out of him. Give your customers a chance to say no. If you don't get anything out of this presentation, give your customers a chance to say no. Offer them what you have to offer. Last stats. So here's where the math kind of comes in. And this will be on a test. So make sure at the end of the day when you take the test, you have these memorized. I went through the portfolio back to 2012. And we put a correlation between what does an approval look like? For Habegger dealers, we're approving almost 83% of your customers that you guys send through. Third column over is the total approvals in the program. The first and second column is the transactions. So in 2012, 96% of all approvals turned into a transaction. Work your way up to current years are 97.7, 97.1, 98.6, 99.5, 101.8, 101.2. We can finance service. We can finance a secondary program or product with consumer. Dealers are doing better at financing other projects with consumers. That's where you get the higher transactions to approvals. If you have sales reps that are struggling, or if you have sales reps that aren't closing, they maybe have good presenters but not closing, get them proficient on financing. Most of those financing customers, when they get approved, should turn into a transaction. Again, should turn into a transaction. Okay, then what? Think of your average transaction in your business. It's your average annual replacement transaction. Here are our top 4 plans within the Habegger promotional mix. 72 months, 0%, 5 years, 0%, 3 years, 0%, and 12 months, no interest. And you see the middle column, the usage. A vast majority of our programs, or our volume comes from the long-term 0%. Well, look at the averages. $9,000, $9,200, $6,300, $5,000. That six-year plan, it's actually lower than the national average. Our national average is over $12,000. But there's a lot of opportunity there when you're selling using long-term financing. How it all works then, it's all based on payment. When you then overlay what the payment looks like, your lowest payment on here is actually one of the highest transaction numbers. If you put your benchmark at say 5,000, it'll live from 5,000 to from 1 year to 3 year, $60 or $1,400, let's say. Another 4,000 going from 5 and then up to 7 years. A lot of increase there. We'll come back to that. Proposals. Hopefully everybody in here uses some sort of proposal system. I'm a big believer in proposal systems. Put the best systems available in front of your customers. Again, give them the chance to say no. When you put your dollar amounts, it looks like my slide got off a little bit. If you put your total amount at the top, say we have 12,000, 9,000, and 6,000. And you have to take my word for it, that's what it actually said on the presentation. If that was the number at the top, customers will move towards the better to good. They will always move to what they can afford to pay out of pocket. But if you put payments in there and tier the payments, if anybody's done BDR classes, I love the way they present it. Tiered financing options. That's the way to do financing. Put your best system with your best financing option. You got your $12,000 over 60 months, $9,000 over 3 years, $6,000 over 1 year. And then you look at payments. You got $200 for your best system. Your Infinity system is over here. Your better system has $250, your good system has $210. Just give them a chance to say no. This now takes that top end system and makes it affordable to the consumer. We look at it from a payment standpoint. We talk about upsells. You'll hear it, you've heard it all morning, you'll hear it all afternoon about how to upsell product. The average limit that we've approved this year within Habegger is $9,600. Our average transaction, I'll round up, $6,600. That's $3,000 left on every single approval that's out there. What I do like though, look at year over year. So the average of 2017, same time frame, $6,100, $6,200. We're seeing lift. As the dealers get better and better at offering financing and longer term financing, we're seeing lift to the program. We're seeing lift to the portfolio, which is great to see. You guys are getting better at offering financing. Let's continue to do so. IAQ. How do we sell IAQ? Put it in financing. Put the options there. Like I said, I sat through the BDR class with Michael Hunter, and he walked through this screen by screen by screen by screen on every single IAQ product, on how to sell it. It's this much per month, this much per month, this much per month. Have it part of the package. On your best system, within the $12,000, price out your system to where you have different IAQ products in there, or other ancillary products. That way you can work on your accessory sales. I sit through meetings, and the worst ceremonies I sit through, the dealers with the highest attachment rates, the highest IAQ percentage, it never fails. They're always some of our top financing dealers. That's how it's done. We've all bought vehicles, right? I've told the story before, hopefully not to this group. When my wife and I bought our last minivan, we sat at the table with the guy, we've all sat with the financing guy. We had the van picked out, it's exactly what she wanted. The guy said, okay, it's going to be $400 a month. Okay, that works. He said to me, he turned to my wife and said, now, didn't you say you wanted the rear DVD? Yeah. Okay, well now it's $427. What am I going to say that? Right? We had the need, we had the option. He didn't tell me it was going to be $2,500 out of pocket. Hey, already included. Don't worry about it. Here are the benefits of that. Your kids will be mostly quiet any trip you ever take. Mostly quiet. As long as they have batteries for their headphones. Okay, financing must-dos. Advertise you have financing. If it's Wells Fargo or somebody else, let people know you have it. Don't hide that information. Don't make the customers ask you for it. How about that? Let's take it a little step further. Don't make them humble themselves and say, you know what, I don't have enough money to pay for that. Do you guys have any payment options? Just offer it. Put them at ease. It's stressful when the system goes out. Trust me. If your system goes out, you guys know what to do. My system goes out, I get nasty texts from my wife. It's stressful enough as it is. Put them at ease. Hey, we'll take care of it. Don't worry. You've got financing available. You're in good hands. Now let's talk about the system. Let's talk about solve the issues that you guys have. Put the approval link in your website. Almost half of our applications right now on the entire portfolio come from consumers going to a dealer's website. That takes the application part out of your responsibility. I can go to so-and-so's HVAC, get approved, and have you come to my house to quote out what my job looks like. It's done. That part of the paperwork is completed. Promote financing early in the sales process. I mentioned this a second ago. Put them at ease. The whole time you may be talking to them, in the back of their mind, they may be saying, that sounds great. I can't afford that. Ooh, I like that, but you know what? I can't pay for that even. Can you just make my house cold again? When you know you can fix humidity issues, you can fix cold spots in the house, fit up the system. All things that you guys can do. Offer financing on service calls. I just talked about the fact that people don't have $400 set aside. 59% of your customers don't have $400 set aside. Offer it. Have your technicians proficient on just offering financing. Our program now is all paperless. We can do it on the phone, we can do it on tablets, we can do it on laptops. Teach your sales guys, teach your technicians how to at least run those through and what they can offer. If a customer needs a compressor, needs something done, it's a low dollar amount, they may get approved for $9,200, $9,600. Those are opportunities you can upsell right there from a replacement, from a fixed to a replacement. Be able to upsell those systems. Tier financing your proposals. And I'll go through an example here in just a second. Present the payments. Make it a consistent sales process. I'm a staunch believer that if you put a consistent sales process in your sales reps' hands, they will maximize their sales. So we'll go through an example here in a second. And then offer accessories and little cash discount. Put something in the customer's hands that you will be able to provide future services on. Maybe you put a longer warranty with them. If they, instead of backing out for cash, you guys use the warranty, the length warranty. That helps you back in the home over time. Costs. So let's talk through costs a little bit. Now I got two examples here. I'll go through them kind of fast. I've done these, and I will continue to do these, but I've done these over the years. When you go into a season, and you want to put together, okay, what's my financing going to look like this year? And this is the planning and the strategy within the business. Approximate how much financing you will do or how much you expect to do. This is a very good example to do with your TMs. In the example that I have here, $1 million dealer financing 20% of their sales. We're going to assume that all $200,000 is financed on a 5-year plan. So $200,000 times my 5-year plan gives me a cost of $33,960, assuming it's 20%, $200,000. If you factor that across every job, instead of just taking the $16,980 on this job, I'm going to put it on everything I sell. Anything that goes out of the door. Any finance sale, any non-finance sale, any service job, any electrical, any plumbing job, anything else you guys are selling, it's always accounted for. This is more the department store, Lowe's, Home Depot. It's already built into the sale. It ends up being 3.39% just across the board. It's already in your overhead. You've already accounted for the number that you can sell and finance if you need to. That's everything on 200,000. I'm sorry, 5 years. Say it's here, so we're going to go half on 5 years, half on 1 year. Our costs on 1 year are a lot lower, percentage cost is, which brings our cost down. Now we're at 2.17%. During the year, the factory has promotions. Any fads in the room, you've got your full year fad reimbursement, and then you've got your reimbursements that are available for pool cash. Those will help offset these costs also. If it were me as a business, I would have this built in, and any reimbursements that I got from the factory, I'd probably just keep for myself, or roll back into my business, put it through the retained earnings back to the business. So what this looks like, if I have a job of $10,000, if I say, you know what, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to put the money, the financing costs into this job right now. I have to build in almost 17% to the job, $11,700. No benefit to the consumer. It's a much more difficult way to sell, as opposed to blending across everything. We're 3.39% in. Now we go from 10,000 to 10,339, or 2.17%, 10,000 to 10,217. Just a much easier way to present and sell finance to the consumer. I mentioned the paperless process. We have the Wells Fargo Credit Connect now. I said it's paperless on smartphone, laptop, and tablet. If you are active with us currently, come see me afterwards. I have the paperwork that we need to add to your dealer agreement language. I can hand it to you. You just have to sign and send it back to me. Keep it real simple and easy. I'm kind of going faster because I want to get to those examples. If you're not enrolled with us, come see me. I can email you over the paperwork. Let's get your email address. Okay, financing action. These slides were borrowed, I'll say, from Mark Gabb out of Indiana. We went through, for one of his presentations, we went through this. So here's an example of what he recommended. He threw the numbers a little bit higher. I went through this with you guys earlier. So we've got, yeah, on the Bryant side, so you have to apologize, blame Mark for this. You have the price, term, and what the payment is. So we have 6 years, 5 years, 3 years, and 1 year. What he did is he had two dealers that he looked at year over year, 16 to 17, putting a consistent sales process together. 2016, the dealer did $654,000, 2017, $802,000. If you look at the breakdown though, again, ignore these over here, look at the breakdown though. 2016, they were very heavily weighted lower tier. 1,243 systems, units sold. In 2017, their mix got better. Look at the lift in the Evolution system, 123 to 309, 62 to 134. They lifted their mix. A much better, much more efficient improvement in mix. A little bit better on the second one. Same proof of concept. You have your Evolution increased, preferred actually went down a little bit, this went up a little bit. Systems actually went down year over year, and overall sales though went up. Sales revenue increased by 38%. Huge impact to the business. Look at this one though. So we had, again, we're more than doubled our high-end sales. 217 units this year. The net profit increased 62%. I heard earlier, it takes the same amount of effort to install these systems for the most part. Put the same amount of man hours in here, yet start selling higher end. It has extreme impact to your business, to your bottom line. Jeff, is there anything you want to add to these?
Yeah, I can tell you that both of these companies absolutely would not use financing. It had to be included on every single job. They didn't take the long view, they took a very short view. And Mark, our Indianapolis residential sales manager, got them to try it. And these are the results in action. Now they're some of the biggest advocates in the Habegger Corporation we have for offering a tiered financing strategy.
Yeah. It was going back to his, I'll go to the next screen. It was going back to his, the way he laid it out. I've worked with almost every company or every distributor across the United States about how to offer this on a tiered structure. And Michael's done the same thing on the BDR side of laying out a tiered financing option. It helps break the cost down. As the systems get more and more expensive, and as steel tariffs come in, the motors changed in 2019, they're not going to get cheaper anytime soon. So put a more efficient way of selling it together. This helps break it down to be able to put those high-end systems and make it extremely affordable to the customers. It really ends up just flipping it on its head. Something else that Mark's done that I haven't done and a lot of our dealers don't just yet, if you lay this out to a customer and had, okay, we got 292, 250, 333, and 750 on the systems. If somebody was really at that point, you know what, it isn't going to work. I'm sorry. My Mark's still holding the whistles right here. Let's keep doing that. That feels like Ghostbusters a little bit. Mark calls it a door closer. I know Paul's referred to it as well. We have fixed rate options available. In this case, they use a 7.9% plan at $180 on that bottom end system. Just gives them a lower payment option available, but it's one of those last ditch things. We're trying to sell jobs, trying to save jobs. Just a one-time option. We don't have a lot of dealers using these programs. They are available. They are everyday plans that you can use. There's fixed rates available to the customers.
I just want to add to that one of the biggest things that both of these dealers had to say is that, yes, the profitability is way up. Obviously you had that slide with it, but they're taking better jobs. They weren't taking cat houses. They weren't chasing people down for payments. They weren't taking those low price jobs. You got to get it to beat the other guy down there. And then they weren't worrying about the low end. They got to pick and choose some of the jobs. So yeah, they basically had to offer choice, which we definitely talked about, and give them 4 choices to 80% of the people. we gotta pay something in the middle. But their biggest thing with them, besides getting the extra revenue, is the fact that, their guys were a heck of a lot happier because they were putting nicer systems, bigger systems, in nicer homes.
Right. Yeah, and I've said it before, I don't really have any data behind it. If I took one of these systems out, say I took out the gold system, and I had a fixed rate available, or if I had this long term, so I had 5 years, I had 6 years, I'm happy with the system. The system's going to be strong. I'm happy about the financing too. Heard a story earlier about somebody bought a new truck with all kinds of bells and whistles. And he told me he got 0% for 5 years. You think if he got 4.9 or 6.9%, he'd have been proud of that? Probably should have told me about the truck. Wouldn't have told me about the rest of it. So put something in the customer's that they're going to be happy with. You guys all watch TV at this point, right? Or we all just Netflixed out at this point. You see commercials and the advertisements for financing. I try to keep an eye on what's happening within the financing industry. It's mattress and furniture predominantly, right? And it's not fixed rates for long term. It's 0%. It's 0% for 5 days, 0% for Columbus Day, 0% for Labor Day. Whatever holiday they're going to come up with in the mattress industry, they're going to offer 0% around. But they're also selling $7,000, $8,000 orthopedic mattresses. So I'll leave that with you guys. I appreciate the time. Thanks for not falling asleep mostly. I saw a couple in the back that were starting to nod off, but I'll let it fly at this point. Oh, sorry, let me go back. I forgot this is in there. We talked about accessories, and Mark did lay it out. I apologize. Putting just packages on $500, $1,000, $3,000 accessories, breaking them down by payments also. Sorry, I missed that part. Kind of important. There we go. Hey, outside of that, thanks for your time, everybody. I'll be here till about 3 o'clock, and I got to catch a flight back home. But thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody. All right, try that again. Good afternoon. My name is Karen Peacock. I'm with the factory back in Indianapolis. I'm one of the marketing program managers. And I've got a few programs today that we're going to talk about. But before I get into it, I just want to say thank you to the Habegger team for inviting me here. I appreciate the opportunity. And thank you for your business and what you do for your homeowners every day. So we've got these 3 programs in place, and I want to go through what they can do for you. So we're going to start off with Dealer Locator. Consumers are online looking for anything and everything. They're doing research before they reach out to a business. So the Dealer Locator is designed to help drive those consumers to your business. So every listing on the locator has what we call a call tracking number. That's not your normal office number. It's basically a vanity number, which means when the consumer calls that phone number, it's going to roll over to your office number. That's important because we can provide you with some really important data and analytics behind those calls, such as how long the caller was on hold, how long the call lasted. We assign a call value to every single caller or every lead that comes in. So we're able to provide some important information to you so you know how many leads you're getting from the Dealer Locator. If you're not aware, you can actually pull off information from HVAC Partners, the call tracking report, and find that information that I just talked about, all the data analytics, the length of the calls, if the caller dropped, etc. So that's under our HVAC Partners, under the marketing tools, programs, and promotions. Click on call tracking, and you'll be able to pull out that data. Another way that we are providing leads to your business through the locator is with the Locator Link program. So in order to be linked from carrier.com to your website, you do have to go out to HVAC Partners, fill out an online form, pay a one-time fee of $60, and that allows our website provider, who is SureSpire Local, to go out and look at your website, make sure it complies with Carrier's advertising guidelines. Once that happens, then you will link from carrier.com to your website. And that will allow the dealer to go from the locator to your website to get more information about your company, maybe the products that you offer, some of the additional services that you offer, financing, which is very important, as Sean talked about. We did a great job covering financing. And then finally, something new that we launched recently within the last couple of years is ratings and reviews. How many of you, before you buy something, will look at an online rating and review? A handful. Consumers more and more are actually turning to online reviews to help make their decision on what they're going to buy or who they're going to buy from. They use online reviews more often than turning to their family and friends or word of mouth. So we had to buy a new washer about a year and a half ago. And my husband is notorious, and he researches everything to death. We can't buy anything unless he goes out and looks at these reviews. So they're important. Consumers are looking at them. And we ended up buying a brand of a washer based on reviews online and consumer reports. So make sure that you're looking at online reviews. Your consumers are definitely there. So we want to help get those reviews onto Carrier.com. And the way this works is through product registration. So when you install a Carrier piece of equipment and you register that equipment, we need to get the consumer's email address so that we can send them an email so that they can rate their experience. Then a few weeks later, I think it's about 4 weeks now, they'll receive another email from us if they opted in so that they can rate their equipment. And those reviews that we get through that product registration site will be filtered here online. Again, it's really important to have those ratings reviews online so your consumers can look at information based on what other consumers are saying. If you're a factory authorized dealer, we've enhanced some of the lead generation tools online for you. Because of the way the dealer locator is structured, when a consumer types in his or her zip code into the search results field, they will see a list of dealers, and it's going to be prioritized or organized by factory authorized dealer. Those are the dealers that are going to appear first at the top of the list. So those dealers, because they're at the top of the list, will receive about 2 to 3 times more leads than a non-factory authorized dealer. We also have President's Award winners. If there's a President's Award winner in the consumer's territory, they will appear above a FAD who is not a President's Award winner. And because of that priority ranking, that will give those dealers an additional 4 to 5 times more leads than a non-President's Award winner. So our intent is to drive as much business to our factory authorized dealers and our award winners as possible, which is why we have the priority ranking in place. Another thing that we just launched this year, and it's in addition to the online rating reviews through product registration, is third-party ratings and reviews. How many of you have Facebook? You guys have a Facebook page? Consumers are using Facebook. They consult Facebook for anything and everything. So if you have a Facebook page and your consumer is posting a review through Facebook, we can capture those reviews and post them on Carrier.com. Same thing with Google and Yelp. This is only available to our factory authorized dealers. As a factory authorized dealer, you do have to do a little bit of work in order for those reviews to be pulled over to Carrier.com. You have to go out to each of those sources and pull off your IDs. And if you're not familiar with how to do that, we have some how-to guides on HVAC Partners to walk you through that. So again, it's really important that we're getting those online reviews because that helps build your online credibility. Consumers are looking at that information before they're making a purchase. So we launched the third-party ratings and reviews in March of this year, and right now we have a 20% adoption rate with our fads. So basically, every 2 out of 10 fads have gone through the process to pull in those third-party ratings and reviews. So we have a lot of opportunity for growth here, and we want you to take advantage of this as much as possible. In addition, with the ratings and reviews from Google, Facebook, and Yelp, the consumer can link or click on the rating and review and go out to that platform to see all the ratings and reviews on those platforms. So it does link over to those other platforms. And as a dealer, as a FAD, you have the choice if you want to do 1, 2, or 3 of those platforms. So we just wanted to take advantage of it so that you're getting more hits on your website and getting more leads from the website. Another thing that we launched recently is online scheduling. Have any of you ever received an email from maybe a medical company that you work with, your dentist, your eye doctor, whatever, to schedule an online appointment? Or any other company? If you haven't, you probably will very soon. It makes it so much easier for the consumer. And it helps the consumer be able to schedule something with you at their convenience. And that's the beauty of the online schedule now. In addition, we have also provided the opportunity for our fads to have a personalized schedule now button on your own website. And we have more information out on HVAC partners if you have any questions, or certainly talk to your territory manager on how to get that online button or schedule now button on your website. I want to walk through what the process looks like. So we have a couple screenshots here. This is what the homeowner is going to fill out when they click the online or schedule now button. They will choose what they need to have done, whether it's a service appointment, an equipment upgrade, or a thermostat installation. We give them the opportunity to provide additional information in this box here. So the more information they can provide to you, the better off you are, and they are as well. And then they get to choose 3 different appointment dates and times that works best for them to schedule the appointment. And then they'll provide us with their contact information, name, address. If they're interested in financing, there's a checkbox down here as well, where they can click that says they're interested in financing. So that's also important for you to know, so that you can communicate to them what offers you have for them. And then they click the request appointment button. All the information that they put into the form, they will get a confirmation. And it'll again reiterate the appointment times and dates that they selected. But it's important to note here that consumers expect to receive an answer from their HVAC provider within 2 business hours, which seems like a relatively short amount of time. But as most of you probably know, we are in the generation of, I want something, I want it now. And if I can't get it now from who I want it from, then I'm going to go somewhere else and find it. So it's really important that when you get a lead through the Online Now button, that you're responding to within a couple hours. So this is kind of a screenshot of what the dealer notification looks like, and this comes through email. You have the ability to change who the email goes to in your company, whether if you want it to go to your principal or your salesperson or whoever schedules your technicians. You can set that up within the portal that we have. So it will include all the homeowner information, the exact same information that they filled out online. But also, if we have any information on their equipment already through the product registration website or warranty, we will put that into the online form as well that you get through the email. You'll get all that information together. This is the dealer portal. This is what it looks like, and it gets the same type of information that you get through the email system. But this allows you to manage all of your leads, whether you're accepting the job or you need to decline it and reschedule it. You can do all of that through this portal. And then finally, there's a neat little feature called On My Way. Has anyone used Uber in here? A handful. Uber makes it really easy for the person that they're going out to pick up to know where they are along the route and how much time it's going to be before the Uber driver gets to the person that needs the ride. So this feature works very similarly to that. The technician can go into the app and let the consumer know who they are. They have a photo of the technician and also how long it's going to be until the technician arrives at the consumer's house. And that way the consumer knows if they need to be at home within 15, 20 minutes or whatever it is. Or they have so much time before the technician's there, so maybe they need to clean up a little bit, maybe they need to finish what they're doing. So it helps them stay on track when that technician is going to be there. So those are just a few benefits for FAD dealers, but I also want to spend a few more minutes talking about some other benefits and reasons why we want our dealers to be in the FAD program. The FAD program is meant to drive leads, help our dealers in their businesses, grow their businesses. But one of the key components of a factory authorized dealer is the 100% satisfaction guarantee. How many of you have a satisfaction guarantee today that you offer to your consumers on every single job? A few hands. The great thing about the factory 100% satisfaction guarantee is that we will help cover your costs. So basically, it works like this. The consumer has carrier equipment installed, for whatever reason, they don't like their equipment. Maybe it's the color. Maybe there's really nothing functionally wrong with the unit. If you can't satisfy them, you can implement the 100% satisfaction guarantee, which means it's good for 1 year from the date of installation. You can take out that equipment. You pay for the cost of the labor to remove that piece of equipment. The carrier is going to reimburse you for the equipment cost. So we're trying to help offset your cost. But we're also providing peace of mind to that consumer, again, for 1 year after the installation date, for whatever reason. Training is a huge piece of the factory authorized dealer program. I looked up some data this morning and I was blown away by the number of hours that our factory authorized dealers take in training each year. This year, or last year alone, across North America, over 85,000 hours of training was taken by our FADs. That number blew me away. I was expecting maybe 5,000 to 10,000 hours. 85,000 hours, which averages out to be about 64 hours per dealer. Now, for the Habegger territory here in Illinois and Iowa, there's about 800 hours total, which averages about 47 hours per company. So you guys are doing an outstanding job of getting your employees trained. Thank you so much for realizing the importance and investing in your company and your employees by sending them through the training classes. We really appreciate that. It really speaks to how well you as a dealer perform. It results in fewer callbacks and warranty claims. So thank you again very much for all your efforts there. Other reasons, consumer promotions, which we'll get into here in just a moment. But the factory authorized dealer certification also helps build homeowner trust. Homeowners are looking for companies who have a badge of certification, or maybe it's a NAICS certification, indoor air quality, refrigerant certifications. All those things help build credibility with the dealer, with the consumer. And that's one of the things that the FAD program can do. Ultimately, though, it boils down to the relationship. We do have the best dealers in the industry. You guys are here in this room are part of that group. And our consumers trust you. And that's what the FAD program is about. It's about building that trust and gaining that homeowner's trust and building that relationship. And obviously, we couldn't do it without you. We appreciate everything that you guys do every single day for consumers and for us. There's another benefit to being a factory authorized dealer, and that's the President's Award Program. It uses a scorecard and it measures a dealer on their achievements throughout the year, whether it's on product purchases, attachment rates, or participation in some of our marketing programs. So just to highlight real quickly what the requirements are, you have to be a factory authorized dealer by May 1st of the current year. We have a set of requirements that every dealer has to meet to be in the FAD program, so you have to be compliant with those requirements by the end of December. Customer satisfaction is really important to any dealership. We need to know how well we're doing, or if there's a problem, we need to be able to address that too. So we require at least 50 customer satisfaction surveys or online reviews each year. And then the scorecard has about 16 different metrics on it, and each metric has its own scoring or point value, and it's weighted. And combine all of that together, there's a maximum or a minimum score that the dealer has to hit. So if you hit that score and you meet all the other requirements, then we will recognize you as a President's Award recipient. Each year we hold an annual factory authorized dealer meeting where we recognize the achievements of our award winners. And I just jumped ahead of myself, so I'll get there in just a second. But there's a few things on the scorecard that hopefully are a little bit easier to attain than others. First is the training. There's a couple different ways you can earn points for training. Each dealership has a certain number of hours of training that they have to fulfill each year. And if you completed half of it by the end of May, you'll get a set number of points. If you complete all the training by the end of October, you'll get another set of points. And then if you did both things, so half by the end of May and all of it by the end of October, you'll max out that training credit. So again, we appreciate all the efforts that our dealers are going through to get their training done. We want to reward them by giving them some additional points on the scorecard. Now these next three things, the carrier incentives claims, the financing applications that are submitted, and the number of satisfaction surveys or online reviews, those are structured based on the size of the dealership, based off your purchases. So that if you're a smaller dealer, you don't have to have the same number of claims, applications, or reviews submitted as a large dealer. So again, it's proportional. So make sure that if you're working toward the President's Award for next year, you understand what those metrics are so that you can get those points. And then the other thing, this one's a little bit different. The CPAD logo is really important. As a factory authorized dealer, we want you communicating and promoting to your customers that you're a factory authorized dealer. You've gone through all the requirements to get that badge of approval, basically, and we want you to make sure your consumers are aware of that. So the easiest way to do that is put the CPAD logo on your website. Now, if you have it on your website, that's great. You won't get any points for that. But if it's not on your website, you'll actually lose 75 points. Those 75 points are huge. It can make a big difference between winning the award or not. So make sure it's out there on your website. That shouldn't cost you any additional funds to get that out there. And again, we want you communicating to your customers that you are a factory authorized dealer. Something new that we did this year is we opened up the online scorecard portal for our dealers to have access to so that you can see how you're tracking against the metrics of the scorecard all throughout the year. It's based on the information that Habegger submits, and then we also, as the factory, we will repopulate the scorecard with some of the program information that we're capturing. So at any time throughout the year, you can log on to HVAC Partners, go to the President's Award portal, and see how you're tracking against the scorecard metrics. So make sure you're working with your TMs on that, especially as we're closing out the end of the year to make sure that you're where you think you are, you're going where you need to go to achieve the. Okay, as I alluded to moments ago, we do have an annual FAD meeting, and this is the opportunity that we can get together with all of our factory authorized dealers from across North America. We can share information about what's going on in the industry, as well as Carrier, provide any product and marketing program updates, but it also gives us the opportunity to connect with our dealers one-to-one. And in the evening, we have our award ceremony where we recognize our President's Award winners. And we actually have a group here today from Pro Air who was recognized this year. And I forget where we were, Orlando. This year we got to recognize Pro Air, so thank you very much to the Pro Air team for all your accomplishments. We look forward to seeing all of our fads again next year, which hard to believe it's only about 6 months away. We will be back in Huntington Beach, California, March 14th through the 16th. So we were there about 3 years ago. Great property. Beach is right across from the hotel. So if you're coming from the Midwest like we are and you're going out to Southern California in March, it doesn't get much better than that. So if you're a factory authorized dealer, please talk to your TM about coming to that meeting. We will be sending out an official notice probably within a couple months, but put that on your calendars. Hope you guys can join us out there. Okay, we're going to transition into our consumer promotions. Hopefully you're all aware that we are in the middle of the Cool Cash selling period. So you have until November 15th to make all those Cool Cash sales, and then December 15th to get the equipment installed and claims submitted. But this is a great opportunity to help you upsell, help consumers buy a higher efficient equipment, and improve your product mix and increase your sales during the pre-season. As usual, we have a couple different options. We have the homeowner rebate, and then we have financing options or offers that run concurrently with Cool Cash. If you're a factory authorized dealer, one of the things that we try to do is provide some additional benefits. So there's two ways as a factory authorized dealer, or two additional benefits that you have. The first is being able to offer your consumers the instant rebate, which is you're taking that Cool Cash rebate amount directly off the consumer's invoice, so they're getting it at the time of sale, versus the standard process, which is where you have to submit the claim and the consumer waits 4 to 6 weeks before they get their rebate. So it's a nice benefit for our FADs to be able to offer the consumer that they're going to save money at the time of the sale. Also, FADs can offer a higher rebate on the same piece of equipment that a non-FAD offers. So that's another benefit to you. You can help your customers save more money at the time of sale by giving them a higher rebate on qualifying equipment. And as Sean mentioned, we also have reimbursements available. So once you make the full cash sale and you submit the information to carrierincentives.com, you can also decide if you want to submit for a rebate reimbursement or financing reimbursement. How many of you are aware that we have a rebate estimator or rebate calculator on the carrierincentives.com site? A few hands, good. So this is something that's fairly new. If you're out at the consumer's home, or your technician's out there and the consumer is interested in buying a new system, but you don't have the grid memorized or you don't have it with you, this makes it really easy for you to go out to carrierincentives.com, go to the rebate estimator page, plug in the information, what their system is that they're purchasing, and it'll calculate the rebate for you. And so that you can explain to or tell them, this system qualifies for $1,350. This is what you're eligible for. So that's a nice little tool that's quick and easy for you to look up that information without having to call back to the office or without having to get back to the consumer within a day or so. We also have financing options that run concurrently with full cash extension. We have different offers for non-fads and fads. With this program, again, we're trying to provide some additional benefits to our factory authorized dealers. So on average, the financing offers are about 0.7% better rate for our fads than our non-fads. So we're also trying to help offset all of our dealers' costs by offering financing. So we offer some special financing offers through the full cash promotional period. So what this chart is showing basically is listing out the 4 different financing offers that are available through all full cash. The first one, for example, the special rate of 0% APR with 60 equal months. You can see the standard dealer rate is 17.68. But again, we buy down the rate. We're buying down this particular offer at 8.68%. So your final cost is 9%. So that's what you would pay if the consumer chooses this option. Likewise, the FAD program has those same 4 financing options, but we offer a 5th option as well, again, because they're a factory authorized dealer, so we want to do something a little bit differently from them. So factory authorized dealers have a 0% APR for 72 equal monthly payments. Same situation here though, standard discount rate, 18.96%. We're buying down was 9%, so your final cost was 10%. If you have more information or you have any questions about that or need a copy of it, make sure you talk to your TM and they can get that information to you. Just a few more things about financing. Sean talked about the importance of financing. It's really important that you're offering financing to your consumers and out on your website they know that you're offering it, because 47%, so almost half of buyers are looking for financing options on retailers' websites. That's even before they call you or they schedule an appointment. As Sean mentioned, about 58% of consumers have less than $1,000 in the bank account. So they need financing. And consumers are used to being offered financing. As Sean mentioned, furniture, mattresses, you see those ads all the time. Automobiles, washers and dryers, you name it, you can get financing on just about anything. Consumers need to know that you're offering financing. So make sure that you're putting it out there, whether it's on your website or you're mentioning it to them at some point during the sales process. Also with Wells Fargo, you can get pre-approved, or your consumers can get pre-approved, and you can get a dedicated link put on your website so that the consumer can go out before you go out to their house and they can get pre-approved. And that will show them how much they're approved for and what kind of a system they can afford, and you'll get that information too. So you'll know if you can sell them a higher end equipment. And if you're not comfortable or you're not sure how to build in financing into your pricing, we have some training courses available through My Learning Center on HVAC Partners. And Wells Fargo also has some training courses available too. So take advantage of that if you have any concerns or reservations about how to offer financing. And then finally, just a reminder, for full cash and the financing reimbursements, you do have to have the claim form. You have to use the claim form, and there's actually 2 different forms now. One's the traditional 3-ply form that you would order through Habegger. And then the other one is an electronic form that you can download from HVAC Partners. So you can use paper or electronic now. The consumer's signature is required, so just keep that in mind when you're getting all the information filled out. And then, of course, submit it through Carrier Promotions. That should be carrier@synthes.com, and we'll get the claim information processed. So, just a few takeaways. The dealer locator is your friend. We want to help drive consumers to your place of business. So, we have several different lead generation tools built into the locator. Make sure during the product registration site, you're getting the consumer's email and submitting that into the form so that we can send them a link to rate their equipment and their experience. Also, take a look at the call tracking report on HVAC Partners. Again, there's a lot of information out there that will provide to you how many leads you're getting so that you see the value of those calls that you're getting from the locator. If you're not in the FAD program, I encourage you to talk to your TM, see how you can get involved and take advantage of additional benefits that we have available to our FADs. Use full cash and financing as much as possible, especially during the fall season here. But as Sean mentioned, we do have a full-year financing promotion for factory authorized dealers. But if you're not a FAD, you can offer financing all year long as well. So make sure you're offering financing. And that is it. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be around for just a little bit longer.
Hey guys, we're going to take about 15 minutes. We'll back about 5 till about 3.
Yeah, that's what I said. Back into what is actually that. I thought that'd be it. Just has to be on.
They can, or
Even. Just get more. They don't necessarily. They just put their information down so we can contact you, choose set for the thing that you're saying.
the carrier one, like
you seen it up there?
Jeff didn't have it, so.
Oh yeah. There. It should be like this. It should be like, Jeff, so what do you think?
Oh,
I would be.
I said.
I can see it. I can run his shirt too. So does that go away in the?
You like colors.
You gotta show them.
I wish I could go tweak these. If I knew they wanted financing, I wouldn't see anything else possible. So, I got like started to do that would be nice. Or if I could go in there. 72 months.
And everybody come on in and grab a seat. Also, I put jump drives all over the tables. I try to get everybody. If you don't have a jump drive, a little black box on your table, let us know. We'll get you one. I've got all the presentations from today. Rob, I'm going to give him one of them more.
Okay.
Come in the room and take it away.
All right. Come on, everybody. All right, looks like everybody's in. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rob Lambert. I work back at the factory, mostly on cooling products and the product marketing group. So I'm going to cover some things on cooling products today. Talk a little bit about what makes us different from the competition. Some of the things that we do to make our products a little bit more sellable, some things we can talk about, others can't. we'll focus on variable speed technology. We've got the green speed products, we've got the 1819 DS, how to sell those, some of the features and benefits, and then we'll spend a little bit of time talking about some competitive products that have kind of hit the market over the last couple of years, touting that they're inverter systems, but they're not quite what they seem to be. So we'll talk about that, and we'll get going here. So starting off about kind of one of the ways that Carrier works, we do things a little bit above and beyond what we have to, what we need to, what we're forced to do, because we want our products to be good, reliable, high quality. There's a certain amount of testing that we have to be able to sell products on the market through, forced by Department of Energy and safety rules and that kind of thing. But we do quite a bit of additional testing to make sure that our products are going to work when they need to, and at the extremes, because 99.9% of the time our products are in kind of a standard operating range. But when things hit like voltage problems, extreme temperatures, airflow issues, those kind of things, we want to make sure that our products hold up in those kinds of situations. So we've got a whole battery of extra tests that we do as we're qualifying our products to make sure that when we get into these situations that we're either going to have a protection built in there, keep it from breaking, or we don't get into that situation to begin with. So that's just kind of a word about how Carrier works. We're a very conservative company. We put in more than we have to because we want to make sure that our products have a high quality and don't have any issues out in the field for you. One of the examples that we've done recently is we bought this highly accelerated life test chamber or halt chamber. Very expensive piece of equipment, but now, especially with the more and more inverter products that are coming out, electronics, controls, motors, electronically controlled motors, we need to put those through their paces, not just testing to pass, but testing to failure. We can do extreme changes in temperature over a very short period of time. We can do vibration, we can do different voltage spikes and hits, and some of the things that probably aren't really realistic, but things happen sometimes out in the field we can't explain. We try to find any weak points that we have in our systems before we ever finish the qualification. So those are some of the things that we've been doing over the last few years that I don't believe most of our competitors don't have equipment like this. We also have the backing of United Technologies Research Center, that all the scientists and everything, materials and all that. We've got a very strong research and development background to make sure our products are good, high quality when they get into your hands. But that allows us to design good things like the Infinity system. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the Infinity control. My colleague Frank is going to go into the controls a little bit later. But just to say that we've got one smart control that kind of orchestrates everything and controls everything in the system. Not that new, right? We've had it for a while. We were the first ones. It was a big deal when it came out, 2004 timeframe. Some of the competitors, everybody has a communicating system now, but we feel like ours operates differently. And we'll go into some of those features right now. Kind of our approach is a system approach. We have controls engineers, we have compressor people, we have furnace people, we make the control boards, we make the thermostats, we make the outdoor units and the furnaces, all designed to work together in tandem to be able to give you the features and benefits that you're used to. Things like the ideal humidity system, comfort heat, the hybrid heat, green speed, Infinity 1819 DS, all of the operating systems we have. A lot of that's possible because we sit down in a room with all the people involved and we all talk together, make sure that these things are going to work together like we want them to. Not all the competitors make their own control boards. They don't design their own control boards. We have a lot more control over what those control boards can do. The furnace boards, the outdoor unit boards, the inverter part of that is owned by us. So we think of it as a system that work upwards to give you a complete system that gives the features and benefits that we're used to having. One of the really nice ones that we have is the ideal humidity system. That's not new, right? We've had that for a long time. Does anybody know off the top of their head how long we've had ideal humidity? Anybody know what year, what decade, what century we came out with this? How many?
25.
That's probably not right. It's close. 1998 time frame is when we came out with ideal humidity. So back then it was kind of groundbreaking. We had a humidity sensor on the thermostat. We were able to control the system to improve the humidity removal. Do we think it operates the same way now as it did back then? The same name, but it's quite a bit different. That's the kind of thing we need to understand how to talk about this. Now that we've got variable speed compressors, we've got variable speed everything, right? We need the infinity control to help control all that. So we have compressor speed is controlled by a temperature or a PI algorithm, proportional interval. So there's kind of looking at multiple things changing all the time, and it compensates and changes all the time. So when we look at this chart, we can use it. This is a really good way to explain what's going on. But there's a lot more going on now than there used to be. So in this quadrant here, you've got a temperature set point, you've got a humidity set point. What the control's trying to do. In this area here, you've just got regular cooling because you're satisfied on humidity. Any system can do that, standard thermostat. But when you have a variable speed, you're increasing or decreasing that compressor speed depending on how far you are away from set point. Instead of just turning it on and letting it run 100%, we're going to run it 100% when it's big demand. We're going to run it way less than that when there's less demand. Trying to keep the even control of the room. In this area here, when you have a temperature and a humidity demand, it depends on where you are in the chart here. You could be, if you have a lot of humidity demand, your airflow will be decreasing as you move this way. When you get less humidity demand, your airflow will be increasing. More temperature demand, your compressor increases. Less temperature demand, your compressor decreases. All of this is being orchestrated by the infinity control communicating system, and it operates to keep that temperature and humidity under control and comfortable all the time, as well as protecting the system, not letting it run too little airflow with too much compressor speed, too much airflow with too little compressor speed. All of that goes on behind the scenes to make sure everything's working properly. And then when you get into a situation here that really a standard system just can't do anything about this. When your temperature is satisfied, but you still have a humidity demand. What we'll do with our variable speed systems, we're going to run that